What's up, commanders? Welcome back to the series dedicated to mastering vehicles in State of Survival. In the previous episode, we covered vehicle-focused guide ideas, best vehicles for each playstyle, and upgrade priority strategy. So if you haven't watched this yet, make sure to check them out after this video. Today we are diving into what many of you consider the most exciting and misunderstood part of the system. Vehicle skills deep dive. We will break down skill types explained in a simple way, how vehicle skills stack with hero abilities, and hidden synergy combos most players completely overlook. Let's jump straight in. So, when we look at the vehicle skills in State of Survival, we can divide them into two major categories. Style synergy skills. The first category includes vehicles that are directly linked to a specific march style, control, resilience, or berserker. These vehicles clearly state in their skill description that if all heroes in the march match the required style, the vehicle skills effect becomes significantly stronger. For example, if you deploy a vehicle dedicated to the control style and your entire march consists of control heroes, the skill bonus is amplified. The damage increases, the effects become stronger, or the activation becomes more impactful. This mechanic applies across all troop types: infantry, riders, and hunters. The key takeaway here is simple: mixed style marches weaken style-based vehicles. If you are not committing to the required style, you are not unlocking the vehicle's full potential. Many players lose power here without even realizing it. And the second vehicle skill type is conditional trigger skills for Generation 1 vehicles. When we look specially at the Generation 1 vehicles, we can identify two additional subtypes of skill mechanics: defensive reactive skills and offensive reactive skills. Defensive reactive skills disactivate where something happens to your troops. For example, if your infantry health drops below a certain threshold, the vehicle strengthens your shield or boosts defensive stats. These vehicles are reactive. They stabilize your march when things start going wrong. They are excellent in prolonged fights where survivability determines the outcome. The other one is offensive reactive skills. These work similarly, but instead of protecting you, they punish the enemy. Example: if your infantry HP drops below 50%, all your troops gain increased damage output. Instead of stabilizing the fight, this mechanic turns your march into a counterattack machine. This means even within infantry-focused vehicles, we can distinguish defensive-oriented vehicles and offensive-oriented vehicles. They behave differently depending on the battle scenario, so choosing the right one depends on whether you want endurance or explosive retaliation. Also, you need to remember about special case for hunter vehicles. Hunters operate slightly differently, and the best example is the comparison between Skyfall MKII and Skyfall MKII. For Skyfall MKII, this version applies consistent damage over time. Every few turns, its damage increases progressively. This makes it extremely strong in longer fights where scaling damage becomes devastating. But for Skyfall MKII, now there is where things get interesting, because instead of scaling over time, MKII delivers a massive burst of damage right at the start of combat, but only once. This makes it perfect for short engagements. For example, events like Path of Water, where fights end quickly and early burst matters more than sustained scaling. Understanding the scenario is everything in that case. Long fights, MKII shines. Short fights, MKII dominates. Now let's move to the second major topic: synergy between vehicles and heroes. This is where experienced players separate themselves from average commanders. Take a Generation 2 vehicle like Oppressor as an example. its skill deals damage to all enemy troops every 5 turns. However, if your march consists entirely of control style heroes, that damage is increased by an additional 45%. Yeah, 45%. That's not just a minor bonus, that's a massive multiplier. And this pattern applies across Generation 2 vehicles. Infantry, Hunters and Riders all follow similar logic. If boiled correctly, you don't just add stats, you multiply impact, and that's the difference. Now let me share something many players overlooked, especially when Generation 2 vehicles were released and many players prioritize Generation 2. Well, most of us rushed to upgrade Generation 2 vehicles and completely ignored Generation 1, assuming they were outdated or weaker or something like that. But here's the hidden gem. Thunderblade MKII has incredible synergy with the Resilience style hero Hayden. Both the vehicle and Hayden revolve around health regeneration mechanic. Thunderblade restores troop health. Hayden enhances survivability and sustain. Together they create a frontline that simply refuses to collapse. And what happens when infantry survive longer? Well, it's simple. Hunters and riders stay protected. And what happens when hunters and riders stay protected? They deal significantly more total damage over the course of the battle. This is layered synergy. Not flashy, not obvious, but extremely powerful in real combat reports. So, remember this, vehicles are not just statistics. Their true value lies in their skills and how those skills interact with march style, hero composition, battle duration, or even event type. The best vehicle is not always the newest one. It's the one that fits your strategy. So before upgrading blindly, ask yourself, am I building for burst, for endurance, for style synergy, or for hidden sustain combos? That's how you turn vehicles from simple upgrades into strategic weapons. And that was the last video about vehicles, and the next one we will start with your lovely mechs. If this breakdown helped you understand vehicle mechanics on a deeper level, make sure to like the video, share it with your alliance and let me know in the comments which vehicle synergy surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, commanders, and I will see you in the next guide.